But yeah, the main event, I would say it exceeded expectations as far as the competitiveness of it. I think kind of after I don't know, maybe the 5th to the 10th, it slowed down a little bit, but not like.
How you gonna bounce over the first 3
No,
rounds?
because I'm saying that fight in general, but that was the only like there were some lulls as far as it
Oh,
being like
okay.
consistent action. But
Uh-huh.
man, Chris drops him in the second, hurts him in the third.
Too much respect. He should have finished him in the third.
Should he? I watched the highlights again
They had
today.
a lot of respect for each other, man.
Should have jumped on him. I don't know how hurt he was in the third when he stumbled back, but he should have taken the chance there. I think, in my opinion.
I think part of why he did that was he was being patient, and he was circling the ring to start the fight. You know, something Chris usually doesn't do.
Yeah, he just go get you like an old dad, like we talked about.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought he was gonna be that Jamil McCline, Chris Arreola, just go in and throw it and go for it. But he was being smart and patient and crafty, and part of why he was able to hurt him was he timed him. He timed him and he waited for Andy to initiate the exchanges. So I think maybe part of it was him being like, "This is how I got him hurt in the first place. Let me try and stay in my shell, doing what I was doing that got me here." But like you said, Ant, ultimately that was probably his best chance to win the fight. Maybe that was he's walking a tightrope where it's like, do I go after him and give this guy a chance with the counter punching? And
right.
So yeah.
I think that Joe and Chris, I thought that they did a wonderful job. They may have outsmarted themselves, or either they outsmarted themselves by this much, or they missed something along the way and they didn't make the adjustment that needed to be made. And so what I mean by outsmarted themselves, great game plan by if you're following the blueprint of Anthony Joshua, you're using the entire ring, you're keeping Andy off with the jab. The thing that everybody wanted to see Anthony Joshua do was capitalize once Andy gets close enough. Yeah. Anthony Joshua never stepped up and did that. And that's why I said they did a great job, because not only did Joe say, "Hey, we're going to control the tempo of this fight. We're going to circle the ring. We're going to wait for moments for him to come in. We're going to time him, and that's how we're going to get him." It was working, and it was working to a T, especially in the first 2 to 3 rounds. I think that they didn't turn it on soon enough, and I think that that's where they outsmarted themselves. I think that Joe knew that they were going to turn it on. And I think that they weren't expecting the adjustment that Andy Ruiz made. And once Andy made an adjustment, I think that Joe missed that adjustment. And I think that, it was clear that Chris missed the adjustment. When the corner misses it, the fighter's got to catch it. When the fighter doesn't catch it, the corner's got to catch it. And I think that they both missed that right there, where Andy started to say, "Hey, I'm not going to keep walking into this stuff. He's timing me. Let me time him." Started to counterpunch Chris, and Chris didn't. That's when you turn it on and use everything we've seen you use in the past. You come at this dude, you rough him up, you use a little bob and weave if you can't keep use the jab to as defense coming in. And I just think that right there was where they dropped the ball.
Let me know if this analogy hits, and we're all football fans. So it almost reminded me of an athletic quarterback that can get outside the pocket, and you specifically go into a game with a game plan of staying in the pocket, and there's a third down, and you got 10 yards and open field, and you're like, naturally, my instinct is to go, and you don't do it because you stick too close to the game plan. It seemed like there were times like when he hurts him, where Chris, I think his natural instinct of what we've seen him do in every fight is just go, "Okay, I got him hurt. I'm going to charge in and throw these shots."
Right.
Like he was like, "No, stick to the game plan." Where I think that was a time where he needed to go with his instinct a little bit. So that's
exactly what I mean by outsmarting themselves. It's great to be under control. It's great to work behind the jab and be very structured. I think I haven't watched his entire career, but I would say as of late, that was one of the most structured fights I've ever seen Chris perform and be in. And I thought that it really worked to his advantage, but then they dropped the ball right there where they didn't make the adjustment and really turn that fire up really hot.
And I definitely expected in the 10th round, late round, championship rounds, Chris was just going to go old Chris.
I did too.
But he just stayed patient. It's like he was so disciplined on the game plan.
Yeah.
He didn't see that. I think he felt he was losing.
Yeah.
He was just waiting on that shot. The shot wasn't there no more.
He said he hit me in my wing.
Yeah, and I don't know how much that because it did look like it bothered him a lot. He was shaking
Was it like
his
2
arm.
or 3 times?
I gotta imagine it was one or two things. It was either numb or it was really painful for him. It wasn't painful enough to the point where he couldn't use it, but it was painful. And I got a feeling it was numb to the point where he couldn't feel the velocity that he was throwing it with, and he wasn't able to use that. I think that really played a role in the way he ended up fighting near the end.
And to Andy's credit, part of why he probably wasn't able to turn it up like that is Andy so fast with his counter punching and his combinations won't let him.
I could not talk about Andy's 1, 2, 3. I mean, he was throwing like an Amir Khan type 1, 2, 3. Like it was coming so fast. You know what I mean?
Oh, big guy is so damn fast.
Yeah, no, his hands are a little
damn fast, man.
Yeah. His hands are a little they fast especially for him to be that big. It's pop.
Yeah.
Pop. Yeah.
Look, he looked really good last night. Only drawback for Andy, and it was a significant one, was with that weight dropped. At least for the time being, he had that loose skin, and his punch resistance looked not as good.
Yeah.
He didn't look as solid to taking a good shot, which is so important at heavyweight. But he's light on his feet, fast hands. He's got skills. He's got skills like a middleweight.
Yeah.
At heavyweight. So he looked good.
Yeah, I think he to give Andy even more credit is just Chris fought so much better than we thought he would, and Andy still won by a wide margin. So it's like we thought he was going to blow the doors off him, but we got a great Chris Arreola that had a different game plan, and Andy still was able to overcome that. And
he had to get off the canvas.
Get off the canvas, yeah.
Did y'all agree with the score?
Little wide for me.
Yeah, I had an 8-4.
117, 110 is very understandable because that's the judges saying he won the round, he got the knockdown in, and he won the round right after it. I think what Chris is upset about and what fans get upset about too sometimes is like every round's close. But if one guy's winning every round, at the end of the night, it's 120, 108, even if every single round was competitive.
Yeah.
And I kind of looked at it like I totally feel where Chris is coming from. Everyone counted me out. I dropped him. I know I didn't lose no blowout fight.
Yeah,
he didn't. But at the same time, it's you can be in a competitive fight where the guy's winning and edging out every round. And I thought Andy did that beyond the 4th round or so.
I think Brian Kenny mentioned that. I think he said that on the broadcast.
He nailed it.
Even if it's a close fight, you can lose every round. It can happen. But yeah, my instinct was it was wide, but I don't think any of us thought like he got robbed, and I don't think he got robbed. He even said like, "I lost." That's fine. I don't mind that I lost. It's just the scorecards. But
wasn't feeling the fans booing Andy afterwards.
No, me neither. That sucked. He didn't deserve that. He fought very well. Chris fought very well. I mean, it was an entertaining fight. I think that
money's worth.
Yeah, I think that they were booing the judges, and I think that carried over into him booing Andy, and he didn't deserve that. Yeah. And Andy's like, "Yo, let's run it back. It was amazing. We'll do it again."
Thank you.
I have an analogy that I used earlier because I found myself very proud of Andy Ruiz and how he handled himself after the knockdown and after a relatively tough 3rd round in this fight. Don't tell me you didn't enjoy what you saw, because I know you did. What you need to do now, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit that notification button. Check us out every week, every Tuesday, something new for you right here on the Porter Way Podcast.